Hello, Rudy Salazar with Calbit.com, and welcome to our sixth step in this 8-step video series that covers the basics of the California Bit Inspection Program. We're talking about in step number 6 here, which started in step number 5. Step number 5 and 6 go together. It's about the Driver Vehicle Inspection Report, the DVIR. That's the most complicated, this is the most complicated part to me of the whole bit inspection program, because if your DVIR program breaks down, your whole bit inspection program starts breaking down. At least that's what I've seen. Now, all these steps can be found in this book that I've written. It's available on my website. It's also available in ebook form, which is your best value because it comes with all the forms and things that master copies of forms that you need to help administer your bit program. You can make up these forms yourself and do it all yourself as well, but kind of did a lot of the hard work for you already. So, as always, our disclaimer. Again, I'm just going to kind of go through this disclaimer quick because I've been going through it for all the other videos, but I'm just a guy with a website that helps people understand the bit inspection program, and it's your responsibility to know the vehicle code in the state you're in, especially if you're doing the bit inspection program in the state of California. You need to understand the vehicle code and where the bit inspection program is in there, and it's also your responsibility to understand the D.O.T. Code of rules and regulations as it pertains to your fleet. So, with that, let's continue with the DVIR, step number 6. And what I call this in my book, an ebook where I have all these steps, is the step number 5 was for the drivers, how the DVIR is created from a driver standpoint, and with this DVIR book that I created with the thumbs up and thumbs down check boxes, and then your 3 signature area, this really is an efficient report book. It comes with carbonless with a little flap you flip over, and you can write the truck number in the back and just use these once a month in every truck. Just keep your whole program going well. And on every one of these, you have this little flow chart, and you have all the little steps that helps. So if anybody's confused about the DVIR program, they just got to put their glasses on and read the fine print, and you can see how you can have the DVIR program work efficiently for your fleet. Again, you really need to start before looking at this lesson. I've seen lesson 5, but in lesson 5, little review. The OK status, thumbs up status DVIRs just get piled in a box, in this high-tech box here. You just throw them. You don't even have to organize them. Just get them in there. And after 90 days, you could throw them away. And then the DVIRs with the defects get put in their own file folder system by vehicle. So if you got 10 trucks and 10 trailers, you should have 20 files in here. And anytime there's a DVIR written on a piece of equipment, put it in its file, the ones that are thumbs down, and you have to keep these for 1 year. They're basically, it's like a maintenance file, which we're going to be discussing more in step number 8. But very basic. Just make your own file. Again, don't commingle. Don't commingle thumbs up with thumbs down. Thing I didn't mention in the last lesson in step 5 video is a lot of times the DVIR is with the logbooks if you have to run logbooks. And so it's part of the logbook. Don't do that either. Don't commingle. Get separate reports. Get your logbooks should be logbooks. DVIR should be DVIRs. Much more simpler to administer and to keep track of. So now, with this little map here, as you can see, is when there's defects found, thumbs down, they then have to go to the maintenance shop part of this whole program. Now, the maintenance shop could be a dealership you're using, could be a mobile service you're using, could be in-house mechanics, could be, maybe it's even, however you're doing your maintenance. The original copy of a report. Let's let's make up one here. Here's one here. So let's see here. Let's say I'm a driver. I just got done. There's a thumbs down issue. I report it. I tear it off. It goes to dispatch. It needs to then start going through the flow of thumbs down. So as dispatch sees it, okay, I have a nail in the tire. I got to get it repaired. They call up maybe the tire vendor, or their in-house mechanic gets it, and the in-house mechanic gets his tools out and busts the tire down, pulls the nail out, repairs it, put it back together and all that. So either the vendor or the in-house mechanic, the person that does a repair, or somebody who's supervising it, it could be the dispatcher that saw the repair taking place or knows it was taking place, has went out and looked, yeah, the nail's repaired. Whoever it is, they have to then put this original copy, go to the truck, put it back on top of the carbon. They have to then check safety-related items repaired. Let's say they pulled the nail out of the tire. It's not leaking. The nail just was there, and so the driver wrote it up, which he or she should. But let's say it didn't require repair. Let's say the dispatcher went out, pulled the nail out, no leak, put some soapy water on or something, no leak. And so that person, or even the tire vendor or mechanic, could just check repairs not necessary, sign it, or repaired it, repairs necessary, signed it, and then takes the original back to dispatch. And then dispatch then puts it in the maintenance file of the truck. Let's say that this one's for this truck down here in that area, and then when the driver comes in on the next day's dispatch, the driver then will be ready to start their new report. So they'll get their new report ready to go. But before he or she does anything, looks at the last report, sees the driver has signed a report that says there was a defect found, a nail in tire, repairs were either unnecessary or necessary, and they checked it, signed it, a vendor or somebody signed it, and then the driver even goes out and looks him or herself and sees, okay, yeah, no nail, everything looks good, tires, bump the tire's in good shape, signs the bottom. And notice, as I explained in the other video, when there's a defect found, as the driver leaves the yard, the driver should have 3 signatures with them. The reporting driver signature, the supervisor or mechanic or whoever signed off on the repairs, and then their own signature here saying that they reviewed them. So with thumbs down, 3 signatures necessary as they roll out the gate. And if it was a thumbs up from the time before, driver just needs to see that it was a thumbs up, and the original reporting driver doesn't need to sign it, just flips it and goes. That's a little review on step number 5. But we're talking about thumbs down, so there'll be 3 signatures on this report. So then the driver sees everything's repaired, and then comes back, signs his signature. Either there's deficiencies or there's not. So that's really it. The hard part here. And let me tell you, I've been in the maintenance game since the 80s, and one of the hardest parts is getting the mechanic or the authorized person taking the original back to the DVIR, putting it on top of the carbon, signing it off. But that's what you have to do to assure that your DVIR program is running efficiently. So you want to make sure that all the signatures are correct before drivers leave, and as it goes through the system, you put the defects found in their own file system. So there's no commingling going on. So if you can run your DVIR program efficiently, your whole BIT program will run efficiently. And if you're not under the BIT program, let's say you're in another state, but you're having to run the DVI, you have to run DVIRs, anytime your DVIRs, as long as they're running efficiently throughout your operation, your whole fleet runs efficiently throughout your operation. You're going through scales without a problem, because as you go through the scales, everything's always being caught, being repaired, being dealt with. You're not having to lose time at scales because they can't find anything wrong with your truck. Good, efficient trucks and fleets have good, efficient DVIR programs running. And these DVIR programs, as much of a headache they are, they can really allow your fleet to run efficiently. And there is a lot of wasted paperwork, because the ones that are thumbs up just gets thrown in a box, but that's the way the law is written. But if you do it like this, you just eliminate the headaches of it by just keeping your rhythm going, because it can get out of control really quick, really fast. And then when something happens and the driver says, well, I wrote it up 3 weeks ago, and you look and it fell through the cracks, or the papers, I've literally seen papers go in corners and on floors, on shelves, and all over the place. Just run it like this. Simple as this. Don't commingle with logbooks or anything else. As we go further, we're going to talk about the 90-day mechanical inspection and the vehicle maintenance file records. Keep it simple. Again, no commingling. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next video.